Hey gang, Clay here, and I am hanging out at the Mountain Music Exchange, where I'm flanked by a bunch of really cool guitars from Squier. So what better time than now to talk about them? Let's take a look at the Squier Contemporary guitar line. It is a revamp of the older Contemporary line that came out a few years ago, and they're just really cool. I know the older line had some really cool features, some sort of modern playability, aesthetics, that sort of thing. I think this ups the game just a little bit, and let's take a look at why. Before I do that though, real quick, just want to throw out there that Contemporary name. Like, where does that come from? What does that mean? Why use the word Contemporary? Fun fact, if you don't already know it, you might. The Contemporary series comes from the older line of Japanese Fenders in the mid to late 80s, when Fender Japan was sort of trying some different things to separate the vintage style guitars from a more forward way of thinking. Like with the Stratocaster, you had the back plate was flush with the body, you had double lock and tremolos, you just had some cool features that was sort of trying to push Fender in a forward direction and not just lean on like the past, you know. And Fender's been doing a really good job of that as of late with the Ultra series, with the American Professional 2 series, especially the 2 series. And now it's kind of worked its way down to Squier, and they're doing cool stuff. Check this out. Let's go from top to bottom. First of all, you'll see you've got matching headstock with chrome Squier Telecaster 70 style logo there with the big block letters. You'll also notice black hardware, and do not adjust your screen. That is a roasted maple neck, a bound roasted maple neck, which is super cool. Just a cool looking feature all the way around. You have a 12-inch radius fretboard from top to bottom here. And then you've, of course, got this gorgeous gunmetal metallic paint scheme here, which looks great. SQR Atomic pickup and SQR Rail pickup here. With the SQR Atomic, if you remember the Atomic pickup, the Atomic line comes from some pickups that they're hot pickups. There's no question about it. I think they're in the 15 range, something to that effect. But you would have found those in something like some American Specials had those to kind of match the heat of the Texas Specials that were in those. More recently, the Fender Powercaster has one of those pickups in the bridge. It's a good, chunky, solid, high output pickup. Just sounds really good. And you're gonna get that in the neck here. If you're into neck leads, you know what I'm talking about. If you're playing especially harder stuff and you're into neck leads, this really will do the job very well. This rail pickup is just a really cool aesthetic, very hot, high output humbucker. But if you, for some reason, prefer to throw a single here, you totally can. I don't know if it would match the rest of the aesthetic and vibe of this guitar, but you totally can do it. Again, black hardware, flip switch plate here, which is really cool because then you have total control of your volume and tone without your switch getting in the way. I know I probably had a scenario or two where I flipped the switch up and did not mean to, and that is all but gone here. It's very cool. And of course, on the back you have the contoured heel, like you would see in the American Professional 2 or the older Elites. It's not the Ultra because the whole body's not sort of shifted from like here up at an angle. It's not exactly the same, but it is still really close to some of the other very high-end guitars, especially when you compare price points here. So, which is really cool stuff. Which, I guess if we're gonna compare price points, I should probably tell you what the price is on these. And the price on these is, wait for it, $429. If you told me all the features that these guitars have, this is Shoreline Gold, by the way, same guitar. If you told me all the features that these guitars have, and you're in a market with other brands, and you're gonna think of competing price points, I would have gone higher. I would have guessed higher. I would have guessed higher. This is the best value. Look at this whole body binding all the way around. And neck. It's the best value I think that you can find in a guitar today, and I'm kind of not kidding. You get a lot of guitar here for $429. You get a whole lot of guitar here. And that also bleeds over into some of these cool guitars. Check this out. Check out this cool contemporary Stratocaster from Squier. Again, you get matching headstock, chrome Squier logo, sort of in the 70s style again, with the block Strat letters that do the cool water slide thing. Anodized pickguard, which I think really sort of makes this guitar, especially in this configuration, look a little bit more, I don't want to say menacing, I don't know if I want to say futuristic, but maybe somewhere in between. Again, roasted maple neck, black hardware, 12-inch radius fretboard, 2-point bridge, which is my favorite non-locking tremolo would be the 2-point bridge from Fender, which you get here. So the pickup selection here is a little bit different. You're actually looking at 3 single coil pickups. This is not a humbucker. If you take a closer look, you can see that it is separate, and the selection options are cool. Position 1 is actually both the middle and bridge pickup, which will give you just a straight humbucker sound. It sounds like a humbucker, and a high output one at that. 2 will give you the middle, 3 will give you middle and neck in parallel. Position 4 actually gives you all 3 pickups, bridge, middle, and neck at the same time, which is a cool thing. A lot of people do mods to their Strats to do this. You can get some other brands that offer this, but this one does it here. And then of course, position 5 is just straight up neck pickup. For traditional neck pickup Stratocaster sounds, it's a really cool setup for the selection. It's different, and I think it's neat. Of course, you don't have any coil tapping capabilities because they're all single coil SQR high output single coil pickups, and it's just a cool guitar. And there's really not much else to say about it. And again, that price point makes it extremely attractive to try out if you're wanting to check out a guitar, or maybe, you know, Fender wasn't your thing, or maybe Fender made something you like but you couldn't play what you wanted to play on it. You don't have that trouble here with these guitars. Especially check out this really cool, I go back and forth between whether this one's my favorite, this really cool Jaguar, not a matching headstock, but black headstock, or the gunmetal Telecaster. I think as far as flash and features, this has the most, far and away. First of all, you can get this, and you can also get the Stratocaster in Skyburst finish. Skyburst, if you're in the Fender circle or you follow Fender guitars, is a pretty up there color as far as price is concerned. Normally you would have been able to get these on an Elite, which would have put you back in the $1,800 range. I think even more recently you can get them on the Mod Shop, which will put you back still in the 15 or above range. Now you can get them under 500 bucks with a Skyburst guitar. So if you're into that look, and I do really like this look, it's like a Lake Placid blue on the outside, and it just gets sort of just lighter and brighter as you get closer to the center, almost like a silver. It's sort of the opposite of that really cool dark night color, where it's sort of like Lake Placid on the outside and just gets darker until it turns black. It's the opposite of that. It's just a really good look. Again, roasted maple neck, Indian Laurel fingerboard. And with these pickups, you get a lot of cool options. So you not only have your regular selector switch here, you have 2 high output atomic SQR pickups. So you have your regular Jaguar looking aesthetics here, but they're a little different. You actually get to use these as a series parallel switch or a coil tap switch, which is, in my opinion, just a more usable. I know there are Jaguar guys who love all the functionality on the Jaguar, and I don't dispute that. I don't blame those folks. When it comes to having a couple of humbuckers, though, I think these functions are a little more useful on this type of guitar. And I mean, really, at the end of the day, usability is what we're all looking at, right? Especially in this price point, is how much can we use this guitar for what we're paying for it? And it's just, look how cool this thing is all the way around. So yeah, you get a lot of function, a lot of form, a lot of guitar for the money that these cost. Really a lot of guitar, period. There are some guitars that are infinitely more expensive that do not offer what these offer. I really think it's maybe the best deal that you can find on a guitar right now as far as just what you get for what you pay. But with that being said, I'm gonna get back to it. Gang, thank you all for hanging out with me, and thank you all for chatting with me about the new Squier Contemporary series. They are really, really nice guitars. I think that's it. So check us out on YouTube and Facebook at Mountain Music Exchange. Check us out online at mountainmusicexchange.com, where you can check out all of our in-stock Squier Contemporary or any other guitars that we have in stock. You can check those out all online and chat with one of us and hang out for a little bit, even if you can't make it in. Check us out on Instagram at Mountain Music Exchange. Gang, I'm Clay. You rock. Let's go check these out. Have a good one.